Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm still upset about Silton, but you know what? We gotta make do. Lord Zadrian, our forces have taken control of the castle. All Solvians have surrendered or fled. Well done. Keep a vigilant watch until the rest of our forces arrive. Yes, my lord. I hope the others are safe. Yeah, no, they're all pretty good. Wow, that is one pristine, clean castle. Congratulations on your victory, young lord. Redessa's freedom has been won. I must confess, I was uncertain I would live out the day to save that. It's a shock. Who knew the Empire would be so easily broken? Their commander absconding midway through the battle could not have helped morale. Thernius, was it? They chose a poor man to lead. Yes, we are fortunate Legate Ajax is preoccupied on the mainland. He would have been a far harder nut to crack. Ajax? I was worried enough we'd come up against that tribune who led the attack on the Nymphweld. She nearly had us last time. Lord Zadrian, Master Garland, begging pardon. Princess Athophilis and Prince Silton has returned from Fort Calf. She's all right. Send them in. Right away. Well, we did it, in spite your directions. Give me one minute. Zaid! Silton, well done. Highness, you've had a grueling ordeal. A chamber has been prepared for you. You should rest. Emma? I'll get her settled in. But, alright. If you don't mind me saying it, Zaid, she needed a kind word from you more than she needs the rest. Right. Not my place to speak. On our way to Fort Calf, we met the daughter of a Sir Mathiel. Do you know her? She said she would seek you here at the castle. She's Sir Mathiel's daughter. Or Ophelia! She's alive! I haven't seen her in ages. How long has it been, Zadrian? Too long, Ophelia. Silton told me you would be coming. Please accept my condolences. I was deeply aggrieved to hear of your father's passing. Sir Mathiel was a titan among men. She has blue hair. She can't have living parents. Come on, Zaid. Ophelia, I was hoping you might have tidings of my brother. After he took flight to Venetia, I began to hear distressing talk. Is it true he has perished? I am loath to believe it, but perhaps if the words could come from your lips. You have seen straight to my purpose here, then. There is so much to tell you. At the turning of the year, just after you sailed from Meledia, an army of 10,000 Imperial troops laid siege to Regina Castle. 3,000 Meladin soldiers were stationed there under your brother's command. Through the support of the duchies of Redessa and Thrall, the Meledians were able to maintain supply lines and hold strong for a time. However, the Duke of Frist, who was the first to betray us for the Empire, had blood ties to the Duchess of Thrall, and he turned her against us too. Fuck that Duke of Frist! Without Thrall's protection, Regina Castle was soon beleaguered on all four sides. Your brother had no choice but to open the castle or let his people starve. Legate Ajax had a reputation for mercy, so Duke Zacharias agreed to hand over the capital on the conditions its citizens would be cared for. With that done, he rode for Redessa with most of his loyal knights, hoping to live to fight another day. But what? Ajax's second-in-command, Thernius, ignored the legate's orders to spare your brother. His men hunted the Duke down and took his life. Fuck that guy! Oh, he's a slime bag! Ha! Now, see, that can't be right. My brother would never lose to a craven cur like that. My father was with them when it happened. I swear to you, it's true. Very well. This cheerful music is not what should be accompanying this. Duke Zacharias decided traveling through the Ferelian lands would be risky, and attempted a route through the Ender's Black Holt and the Sabbath Mire instead. They waylaid Thernius' henchmen in the trees and bested them handily. However, there was another in the league with Thernius, a mage who used his magic to set the whole wood ablaze and trap the Meledians. Raising defeat was imminent, and your brother got down from his seat and doffed his armor. He took my father aside and said, "This armor and horse were gifts from His Majesty the late King. They are Meledian treasures and must be preserved. Take them to Redessa. One day Zaid will return. When he does, you are to give him these gifts. Zaid will not fail us. He will raise our great kingdom from the ashes." Zek. My father tried to refuse. He wanted to stay and fight alongside your brother to the very end, but he was chased away. The last thing he saw as he rode off was your brother donning the heavy armor of a fallen soldier and bravely holding the enemy at bay. And a moment later, all was engulfed in flame. My father saw Duke Zacharias burn and fall to the ground. There is no mistake. Try as he did to save him, nothing could have survived that hellscape. And what of your father? When the Empire came for Redessa Castle, he met them in battle and was struck down. Before he left, he entrusted me with the Duke's armor and horse and insisted I give them to you the moment he returned. Wait a minute, is this his promotion? Hold on! I have honored my father's wishes and brought those gifts with you to you here today. This is your brother's armor, that befitting of a great liege, and in the stables you will find his trusty steed, Verla. Thank you, Ophelia. You've done more for me than you can ever know, but forgive me. Yes? I still can't bring myself to believe Zek is dead. It's hard to explain why, but I just feel it. I feel Toy is your brother. I'm positive. But is he, like, dead or something? My knights and I wish to join your army. Knights? Many of my father's soldiers survived the sacking of the castle. We're prepared to help you win back the rest of Meleda. The gesture is appreciated, Ophelia, truly is. But there is something else I need from you more. Which is? Redessa is a key stronghold, and once my army marches on Regina, I need someone to defend the castle while I am gone. I can think of no one better suited for the task than you. The people love you, trust you, and the garrison will heed your orders. Will you do it? To be honest, I was hoping to be there when you set Regina free, but I won't fool myself. I know I am no great warrior. I accept. I will protect the duchy until you return, and we will set up a supply line to help your effort. Well, I say we, my father's soldiers will do most of the heavy lifting. Perhaps, but it's your attention to detail that will make the whole thing work. You were always the smart one. You used to drive me mad when we were little because you were always one step ahead of me. Yes, I remember your temper. I hate that someone younger than me was lecturing me about how to do things. We'd fight, and by the end of it, one of us would be in tears and running to be. Father fancied you and I would marry, remember? He'd get so wroth with me at how I treated you. Well, we were little. Since then, you've grown into a charming young man. A shame, really. Why? Because you forgot all about me. Don't think I've noticed how attached you were to Theodel. Theodel? Good lord, I love fucking Theo so much. Even after he left for the Tememos, you never came to visit me. Before I knew it, your father's plans to wed us were up in smoke. He had no choice. The king suspected him of perfidy and drove him for the Meledian capital. Stop using words I don't know. You use words I do know, not words I know. I was taken to Regina as the king's ward until my brother sorted matters by putting the barbarians to rout. It was a mess. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know why I brought it up. No, it's not your fault. I'm the one that got us reminiscing. Let's let bygones be bygones. Agreed? What matters now is the future. Lady Ophelia, daughter of Sir Mathiel, do you swear to defend Redessa and its people in the holy name of Vesta? We're doing this the formal way, then. Very well. I swear. I will serve you and Vesta well, my liege. Zek's bequest. Is that his... Zaid, I just wanted to say... Have you gotten enough rest, Highness? You must be weary after a whole night in the wilderness. I'm alright, I slept like a log. Zaid, are you angry with me? What gave you the impression? Well, I ran off without saying a word to anyone, and I know how much grief I put you through. Princess Athophilis. Yes? Your obligation is not to me. You are the last surviving member of the Meledian royal family. If anything happens to you, a great house with half a millennium history will perish. Thousands of subjects and tens of thousands of citizens will reduce to a stateless dysphoria. Why is that so difficult for you to understand? You act as if I've done some terrible thing. I went for a stroll in the woods. It's not my fault luck was against me and I crossed paths with those bandits. Against you? Luck is the only reason you're alive. Something short of a miracle the knight who rescued you was of honest intent. You told me you were tired of being the object of protection, tired of burdening us. 3,000 people just went to battle exhausted and underprepared because of your heedless actions. You talk about the grief you put me through. You nearly did me in these past few days. My brother placed you in my care because he thought I was like him. I'm not. I never will be. You disappearing time and time again only proves how woefully unqualified I am for this task. I would give anything to be done with it all, to embrace my own sword and die, but I can't even do that as long as I am oath-bound to protect you. Zek would be ashamed of my cowardice. Forgive me, I should not have spoken so freely. Shall we both retire our chambers for the night? It is very rare that the Lord just, fucking calls them out, because he's not wrong at all. Everything he just said was true. But normally when someone does something in these kind of RPGs that causes a lot of problems, they're very quickly like, oh, it's alright, it's fine, all's well that ends well. And Zaid's just no. Holy shit, do you realize how badly you fucked up here? I like that. Highness, what are you... Don't say things like that. You mustn't. I understood now what I did was wrong. I'll never run off like that again. Ever. I promise. You don't have to be your brother. I don't expect that. No one does. I admire you for who you are. Pray forget everything I said, Highness. I need to better control myself. That goes for you as well. These wave of emotions, these sudden bouts of tears, they will give your subjects the wrong notion of you. Emma, see that she gets some rest. We all need it. Yes, Lord Zadrian. Tomorrow I will show you around Redessa. It pales in splendor to Melida, but it has its charms. Sleep well, Princess. Why is he so cold like that, Emma? He treats me like I'm a child. And you want him to treat you like a lady. No, I mean... I don't know what I mean. Pouting openly about love and attention you want won't win it. Nor are you doing yourself any favors by throwing your arms around his lordship like that. Is there something wrong with it? Let's just say a woman grown knows better than to embrace a man quite so freely. What does that mean? It means you're a child in some ways and a lady in others, and foisting all that upon Lord Zadrian at once confuses him. You're his princess above all, and for now you'll just have to be content with that. I guess she is sure that her fiancé is dead? I guess. 15x dividing the ranks. Oh, God. After October 1025. I don't know what CC stands for, so we'll call it CC. After nearly a year of hard struggles, Zaid and his knights have finally reclaimed the Duchy of Redessa. However, the Empire still held the Meledian capital of Regina, where Zaid and Aethel's journey began. Retaking the impregnable city would not be easy with the limited troops at their disposal, and yet time was of the essence. Once the Solvian Emperor learned of the uprising, he would dispatch Legate Ajax to quell it, a brilliant general who could easily obliterate them. Zaid knew their one hope for survival was to liberate Melida as soon as possible, man its castles and fastholds, and prepare for invasion. Precious days went by as his council debated the best strategy to achieve this. It was on one of these mornings that a familiar face came stomping to Redessa, the trade-farer Masad. Hey, Masad came back. Hey, you can't go in there. Forgive me, my lords, I tried to stop him, but he insisted he be given an audience right away. Lord Zadrian, my heartfelt congratulations on retaking your duchy, but aren't you forgetting something? Forgetting what? The guild's trade-farers are still rotting away in prison camp. You promised you would rescue them, that was the deal. How long are you planning on sitting on your lordly derrieres? We haven't forgotten anything, Masad, but you cannot expect us to mount a rescue when we don't know where your friends are being held. I'll tell you where. A mine in the Ledvia Mountains north of Regina. They're using it as a labor camp for criminals and prisoners of war alike. Are you certain of it? Where did you get this intelligence? A runaway. He said it's hell in there. People are dying every day. They're subjected to hard labor and given nothing to eat. And they put up even the slightest resistance, they're slaughtered like animals. He described whole ditches full of dead Melodian soldiers. That's terrible news. I'm glad you have told us. Do you know how to reach the camp? Would the man you spoke be willing to show us the way? Of course. He said he'd do anything to save his friends. All right. We'll rescue the trade-farers, and I want to help those Meledian soldiers as well. Master Garland, isn't there a pass from Redessa into the Ladvias? Yes, it's a hard climb, but child's play compared to the crawls, especially if you have a guide. That said, young lord, you must remember our priorities. It is imperative we take control of Thrall Harbor as soon as possible. The port will allow us to receive supplies from Venetia, and possibly even military aid from other nations. If we go roaming into the mountains, we'll only be giving the Empire's reinforcements more time to reach Vestaria. Zaid, give me a few hundred soldiers, and I will liberate the prison camp. Master Garland is right. You and the princess have too much work to do here. You? But you don't know the lay of the land, Sultan, and you need more troops than that. No, I prefer to keep things small. We'll have an easier time traversing the mountains, and will be more difficult to detect. I only ask you allow me to take reliable soldiers, my veteran generals and Bagtars at least. Once we free the prisoners, we'll march down towards Regina and attack the castle from the north. I'm sure the Meledian soldiers we rescue can help. A pincer attack! That's a brilliant plan! He just said pincer, and my mind went to Kingler, the Pokemon. I don't know why. Pincer's the pincer Pokemon. Not only will we gain experienced Meledian troops, we might even be able to besiege the castle. Young lord, I suggest we take Prince Silton up on his offer. Very well, then it's decided. We'll divide our army in two. I will lead the main force south, freeing Meledia's towns and cities one by one until we reach Thrall Harbor. Then we march north to Regina. Silton will take his company to the Ledvia Mountains and rescue the prisoners, then march south to meet us. This is going to work, Zaid. We must plan very carefully. Our army will remain divided until we take the Miletian capital. We won't be able to share equipment or provisions. The decisions we make now will have repercussions for the rest of our campaign. Going forward, your forces will be divided in 2 brigades. Units west of the road will go with Zaid, and units east of the road will go with Silton. You cannot choose which units go with which commander, and beginning in the next chapter, the 2 brigades will no longer be able to share items. Furthermore, Silton's troops will lose access to the stockpile and must make do with the weapons they are carrying. Therefore, this map is a vital opportunity to organize your units, buff your units. Only a handful of chapters remain. Now is the time to use class change and stat boost items. One final warning. Before you take back any items you have given to Talon before completing this map, you will not have access to his items going forward. When you have finished making your preparations, have Zaid talk to Silton and complete the map. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a lot. So... Alright, so Garland has to go with Silton, and Abbot Melvin has to go with Zaid. Why does Abbot Melvin go with... Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a lot of thinking, so I'm actually going to call it here. I think... I don't know, this is going to be interesting. Man. Alright. Well, I guess we're just gonna... this is gonna be a lot of thinking. So next episode is gonna be an episode that makes you go, because I'm gonna be going, a lot. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day, and... It says we're nearing the... You know what? No. No, scratch that outro. It wasn't real. Commence battle. We're gonna do something before we go. Archleech. Holy shit, those promotion gains. Good job, Zadrian. He is on a horse. Commander 2. Critical Edge, Orison. Alright. Welcome to not being bad, Zaid. Welcome to not being bad. Alright, so Thermal Ring resists like everything. Alright. Let me visit this house. After a year of Imperial occupation, it's no wonder that every manner of rogue and ruffian is coming out of the woodwork. Would you mind restoring a little order around here, pretty please? I should not have gone into that house.